Yo, what is up guys? My name is AirWard, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to increase your aim in the game of Valorant. But before we continue, I want you guys to go down below, subscribe, leave a like on this video, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, the fact that you're watching this, I can tell two things. Thing number one, that you guys probably are new to the game, and if you're not new to the game, you're new to FPS games in general, or maybe PC games in general. So you guys are like struggling trying to get better aim. And the second thing I can tell is that maybe, just maybe, you guys watched a lot of videos already and they all say the same thing: don't use your crosshair to sweep the floor, you know, keep it head level, so it's easier to kill people, blah blah blah, you know, like strafe when you check the corners. But at this point, I know you guys aren't like monkeys, okay? Like, you guys can understand the fact that like if you aim at the head, it's better than hitting them in the foot. So for this video, I'll be actually going over tips that, or things that I changed in my gameplay that actually started getting that started improving me as a player in general. The first thing is my crosshair. Like, the type of crosshair I have is so good compared to the default one or any other type ones. I enjoy this one. I feel like once I got this crosshair, like, my headshot accuracy started improving. Also, we'll talk about like warm-up routines for, like, maybe you're struggling to use the Vandal. I'll show you some Vandal routines, some operator routines, some martial routines, and you guys can just like get into the groove of these and, like, you know, start dominating your ranked games. The last thing I'll actually talk about is like some other tips that you guys can use. For example, like hitting deathmatch, things like that. There's different types of crosshairs. There's the one that TenZ uses, which is this one. This is my first ever crosshair I used. And there's another crosshair. This crosshair I got from a YouTuber named Sero. It's like this tiny dot, and I feel like this dot is so much better than that that plus type of crosshair. I don't know, in my opinion it just feels smoother, but I'll show you the settings for both of them. Let's start off with the TenZ crosshair. So for the TenZ crosshair, you have to put on advanced options, go to primary, select the color to cyan, or any color in general, but I feel like white, cyan, and like not green, like not red either, I guess pink. They all look good, or like they don't blend in with stuff, but my top choice would be cyan. I'll turn off outlines, and I'll turn off center dot, turn off firing error, and like stuff like that. Like over here, just turn everything off, and then show inner lines on, put it on 1, 5, 2, 2, and movement error off, firing error off, and then show outer lines on and put all of them on 0. You can mess around with these settings, it's all up to you. And now the sero crosshair, I can create it. It's actually really easy. You don't even need to copy. It's super easy. I'll show you guys. So the first thing you do is you keep outlines on, you put it on 1, you put on your center dot, you turn off inner lines, you turn off firing error, you turn off everything that there is left, and boom, you got the crosshair. You can put it up to 2, 3, like, you can keep it as high as you want, but I usually keep it on to 2 because 2 looks the cleanest. It's small, but it's not too small, you know what I mean? You know, also for your sniper scope, it depends on what type of pushes you're gonna be doing or you're planning on doing. For example, if you're gonna be planning on like focusing on your crosshair more and you're like far ranged, you know what I mean, just like keep the cursor a little smaller. But if you're planning on like using your operator and like rushing into like you keep using your operator and just rushing corners, you know what I mean, like playing around like this, I would put the crosshair to be a little bigger because it, like, you get to focus on the head more. Like, like when it hits the body, you just focus on that more. Okay, well now it's time for the warm-ups. What I would do first is, before I start using the operator and stuff, I'll just take the sheriff, hit start, but in easy mode, and just, you know, just slowly move on to them, lock onto their head. Like, you don't need to be fast with it, just be slow, steady. Just get your hands used to the pace and like the head level. If you guys are struggling with that, just go slowly. And after you start doing that, or you finish or whatever, just up the pace and just keep doing it. And I feel like medium is like where you should stop. You can go hard if you want, it's up to you. I feel like medium is like a good stopping point. Now for the Vandal, there's 3 type of warm-ups I do. The first warm-up is the same thing as what we did before. You just go, just one shot, that's it. You don't need to boost your ego by trying to get the kill, just one shot. This will help you, like, see, I shouldn't have done that, just one shot. If you miss, you miss. And then you can up the difficulty up to medium with the Vandal, and then just strafe around while you shoot them, while you like dominate on the bots. Oh, as I say that. Okay, and you can go for more than one shot this time, because you know they're moving around faster. Just go for more than one shot. Okay, the last warm-up I would actually do with the Vandal is I would just practice the recoil pattern. What I noticed is, like, you hold the gun for 2 seconds, and then that's basically the perfect time to release. Just 2 seconds. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Just get into that rhythm, because once you go past that, you can see that bullets start like trailing off. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You see, and it starts like after 2 seconds it starts going up to the ceiling, and you don't want that. So you just control your recoil. 1 2, and after you finish your 2 shots, you know, just strafe. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Another thing you can do, this is pretty extra, you don't have to do this if you feel like it's not worth it. I would put on eliminate 50. Oh wait, is this the wrong one? Exit. Eliminate 50 in practice, and just stand here and then just train your like your recoil, like to move it from person to person. This is good for like if you're versing multiple enemies at the same time and you don't have time to reposition or strafe or whatever. One extra tip I want to give you guys is don't crouch too much, because look, when you crouch, like a good time to crouch maybe if it's like a 1v1 and you know you have the upper hand, or it's like far range and it's like a 1v1, just so like your recoil doesn't get too high. The thing is, when you crouch and there's 2 enemies on you, or they have the upper hand, it's like most players usually just hit you in the stomach, you know, like that. They don't actually hit the head. So what happens is they're automatically gonna hit your head when you crouch, like in lower elos. So don't crouch as much. And also, when there's like 2 people shooting at you and you crouch, you automatically lost, because once you crouch, you're like set, like the fight is set in stone. You have to fight them, because it's gonna be hard to uncrouch and then just escape, because while they're shooting at you, and when a character takes damage in general in Valorant, it starts slowing down. So when you crouch and you try to get up and run away, they're already shooting at you and they're tracking you, and your character is getting like slower and slower, and plus there's gonna be 2 people on you at the same time. So like, just don't try to dedicate yourself into a gunfight when you know you're gonna lose. So that means like you don't have to crouch. The way I got better with the operator is I hopped into the range, and I would go to the eliminate 50 and I'll put on strafe. Or actually no, not strafe, I forgot. I'll put on like just this. They're not gonna be moving around. And I would hit the practice, and as a jet main, what I would do is I would come over here, I would aim, and then once I see them, I kill and I dash out. And just keep doing that. They're gonna respawn, kill, dash out. If you miss, still dash out. It's a good practice to use. And just keep practicing it like that. And then at one point, your operator flicks are just gonna become crazy nasty, and you're just gonna like nobody's gonna be able to stop you. To get better with the Marshall, what I do is I just take out my Marshall, and I play it in deathmatch. I use Marshall a lot in deathmatch. But what I'll do in the range is I'll take my Marshall, and I'll just start like slowly changing from target to target, shooting them, you know, flicking them, like, you know, holding like this, and then once they come into the site, you know, flicking them. Once they exit, flicking them. And after, you just slowly like put up the pace, and then you go faster and faster and faster, and just use the Marshall a lot. Just aim for the head. Once you develop a good crosshair placement, it's like automatically gonna be on the head. It's gonna be head level automatic, so you can just like quickly flick them or be able to shoot them on site, and that way you can like increase the amount of kills you're gonna obtain with the Marshall. And that's really it for practice range. The rest, what I would do is I would leave the game, and then I would hop into a deathmatch. What I would do is I would turn off my audio in general. I'll just turn it all off. I would play some music, like some music I can vibe with in the background, and just practice my kills. Because when you have your audio on, you're like dependent on the audio itself. You're dependent on like hearing where the people are. You're just really dependent in general. But when you have it off, you just don't hear anyone, you don't hear your footsteps, and you're just raw practicing your mechanics. I'm gonna just get a few kills, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. Right now I don't have my music on, but the reason why you want to keep your music on is so you don't start tilling in fucking deathmatch. Like, you don't automatically start tilling and losing. If you guys get into the deathmatch, you keep your audio down, and just don't worry about winning or losing. Just worry about like practicing the gun you need. I suggest if you're practicing like your vandals, like your vandal, your headshots, just like if you're practicing your headshots in general, just use the vandal. Oh my, I'm whiffing. Okay, just use the vandal, because like it's one shot to the head, and it's like you're gonna be practicing your recoil control at the same time. However, if you're gonna want to get better with the Marshall or with the Sheriff, just use that. It's like you don't need to feed your ego by trying to win the deathmatch. And just keep the music on in the background, like I said, so you don't till. Right now I don't have music on because I'm too lazy to put it on. I'm just trying to like show you guys how to practice. But just keep repeating this cycle every single day, and you're gonna end up like being able to hit heads. And when you get into your games, you're gonna be warmed up. You're gonna know that you're not gonna drag your team down anymore. I guess you're gonna be able to fucking boost your rank. If this video helped, please leave a like on it. Like, I'm just trying to, like, you know, get better. Like, I'm trying to basically grind on YouTube over this break. And right now it might look like my aim is bad, but if you check my stats, my headshot accuracy is pretty high. And yeah, like, see you guys later. Stay safe. Peace. Oh, and by the way, comment below your sensitivity, because there's some people that like they don't know what sensitivity to use on what DPI. I use, for 800 DPI, I go 1.1. It might seem fast, but it's just something I feel comfortable with. And just write down your DPI and the sensitivity that you're rocking with in the description, in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.